back, everyone. This is MCOC Al Bundy Rules. I got another Variant 5 walkthrough video for you for a path for those of you going for completion. So we're going to go to the right on this one. Going to start on off with Vision. I'll be starting off looking at these. We see there's an arc overload there, which will be a big one. But arc overload doesn't give a whole lot of health, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue. Gonna start off, gonna get a little bit of bonuses with our mystics. Gonna be starting off with Black Widow. Nice, simple, parry heavy strategy. Because he is bleed immune, we saw how quick I got that health, that full health. Go ahead and knock out that S3. So with his immunities, exploiting that, and with my Black Widow there, can exploit that, and while running the Suicide Masteries, we're going to see that this should be a pretty straightforward fight. But then again, as we've seen, most of the variant fights in Variant 5 have been pretty straightforward. You do need to have a decent roster on the Mystics and Spider-Verse champs, or at least one or the other, and you'll rock pretty good. We saw I did Chapter 1 with mostly my Venom the Duck heavily. So far, Chapter 2 has been pretty much all Mystics, mainly leaning on my Claire and Voodoo. Even with the Suicide and not being a Suicide-friendly shot, he was very useful for me in 2.1. We're going to see him used a bit in 2.2 as well. So I'm going to keep rolling on this Vision, Age of Ultron. Have it on the bleed there. That way I can go ahead and get some regeneration back as we saw. The negative on the Suicides is that recoil every time you launch a special, so makes you have to get some of that health back. But that's the good thing about Claire. It's not too hard to get it back. I can maintain her pretty well. And we're going to go ahead and go up this way on the path, having a Squirrel Girl next, which we see the Arc Overload Pessimist, and another one, as we see, I'm generally pretty quick on the nodes. I've noticed that Variant 5 has been probably the most straightforward of all the variants. No crazy nodes at all, which is nice. Just able to go ahead and get through and get it done. And it's been nice because, as we've seen in the other videos, it has been, at least so far, resource free, nice and easy. So we'll see some just pretty much straightforward pounding going on right there. Let's see, I kept on the bleed once again, get a little bit of regeneration. But then you want to get that better health, switch it to the Curse of Plague, pass that to the Curse of Hellfire. Gives me some nice extra oomph right there. And as we'll see in my fights, I don't go for anything too fancy. Do what needs to get done. If I feel more comfortable in being a certain special, if I feel more comfortable on the parry, the intercept, wherever it's at, in order to get through it item free, as I've shown on the walkthroughs on the other chapters of this Variant 5, Blood and Venom, that all I care about is getting the path done with no resources used, and so far been very successful in that. I'm going to keep it forward and trying to help all of you being able to replicate that. See a way to get through, see how I get through, and with no items. Because why use resources if you don't have to? This one was given a little bit of debate on who I wanted to use. He decided, you know what, let's bring out Voodoo. Dr. Voodoo definitely has been clutch for me in Variant 5 so far. especially Chapter 2, but Chapter 1 was useful as well. Again, even with suicides running and being a non-suicide friendly champ, he has completely dominated for me. Just gotta watch that health and gotta be careful with those specials because that recoil with suicides does hurt you. See some pretty decent poison damage going on there, almost 1500 a tick with those 5 poisons. Again, as I said in the other variant chapter videos, underrated champ Voodoo right here. He was known as being great for a long time, but newer champs got him overshadowed, and what he does amazing. And they're over 2,000 a tick on that poison. He could get a. We saw in the other video, I think it was 2.1. I had like almost 15 poisons stacked at one point. Not too hard to do with them. Made easy work of Sinister. Going on to Ronan now. Again, all the paths have the same basic nodes going on, so moving forward with this. Decided to go back to Claire. And we will see I get through this whole path at a pretty good rate. Chapter 2 has been pretty quick paths. I think I had a couple extra fights on 2.2 than I did in 2.1. But if any of you saw 2.1, that one was over in practically a blink of the eye. 9 minutes for an entire variant path. That's pretty nice, but you gotta love that they didn't overdo the content or the length of the paths on this variant. Pretty energy friendly, and easy to keep going. This path 2.2 took me a few minutes longer than 2.1, but still nice brisk pace if you are going through the whole thing, seeing how to get these fights. Doesn't take too much of your time. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Next up we got Venom the deck. We saw quite a bit of news in my chapter 1.1 and 1.2 videos I did as I was using them heavily. Again, even though Voodoo's not suicide friendly, that regeneration at the start of the fight can be very helpful. Lets me maintain a bit. And we see good 1400 a tick going on the poisons. Get some intercept action going on there. Power burn since I got that S2. At this point, I rarely use S3, but I can't really afford to lose more 5% recoil from an S10, S2 right now, so go into this S3, give me a free non-recoil hit special. As S3s don't recoil on suicides, and then the deck goes down easily. So far, we've seen the entire path is cleared, and every fight was extremely easy, mostly all full health. So unlike a few of my other runs you may have seen on variant 5 that were a little sloppy, this one's a lot less sloppy, thankfully. But once again, all the goal is whether I have one person left or all 5 left, it's the same reward. So as long as I don't lose any items, I'm a happy camper, and that's what should be the goal. So I'm looking at this boss, figuring out where I want to go, and decided, you know what, let's stick with Claire. I was getting ready to use Spidey, but went against my instinct of using Stark Spidey. or if you've seen the other chapter videos, I haven't exactly been doing a whole lot of justice so far. As you see, I do what I do in a lot of my fights, keep pretty aggressive and just kind of got her locked in the corner and go from there. Good thing about Storm is nice, easy specials to dodge. Some of the easier ones. And there was my mistake. Miscalculation. I thought I would keep it under the 3 bars with that special. I clearly thought wrong and I paid the price. So a near perfect run on a variant, but that's okay. I still got 4 guys left, so I wanted to get a little bit of Starkey action anyway, hoping to redeem my previous Starkey performance here. Although I'm kind of debating between Guillotine and Starkey, but he deserves some more use in here. I should be highlighting him in this variant because it's a good content for him. So what I'm going to go try to do here is go ahead and get a little bit of those charges going on. Get his attack. Puts me at 10 right there, so time to go to town. And another completion. 2.2. Hope you all enjoyed the video. We watched the other ones too, any of the chapters trying to get through. Give you a nice quick way in how to get through. And enjoy